Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. And this video is to bring you a closer look at the Cal-Royal number SH-140 4.5 by 4.5 US26 polished chrome single acting spring hinge full mortise standard weight steel base. So this is a very common, very typical spring hinge, 4.5 by 4.5. And it's in a shiny chrome or US26 finish, also known as 651 finish. So let's dissect the part number here. The SH from Cal-Royal means spring hinge. The -140 is a reference to all of the parts of it. The fact that it's full mortise, standard weight, 4.5, 4.5. It means all of that. And the one, means it's spring hinge. 4.5 by 4.5. The height goes first on a hinge like this, so it's 4.5 tall and 4.5 wide. Even though it's square, you still want to say the height as first to keep you out of trouble if you encounter a 5 by 4.5, let's say. US26 in steel base means it's polished chrome on steel. Okay. Includes screws in a complementary finish. You're going to get all wood screws and all metal screws, 1224 and the number 12 wood screws. Okay. Available in different finishes from Cal-Royal, all the common architectural finishes. It's a nice quality hinge. The fit and finish is very good. I wouldn't hesitate to use this or recommend this for use to any of my clients. Good quality fit and finish, there's no question. It's 134 thousandths of an inch leaf thickness, and that's standard for a commercial grade hinge. You can see from the swag on the hinge leaves that it is indeed a full mortise hinge, intended to be mortised flush to the edge of the door and frame when the door is closed. When the leaves are brought parallel, those leaves are intended to be mortised flush to the door and frame. Okay. Considered a template pattern on the screw holes. Okay, and there is a link below this video to the template, which shows you dimensionally where all of those locations are, should you want to double check to make sure it's correct for your application. There is a link below this video to what's called the instructions, and really all it is a scan of the back side of the box that they'll come packaged in. Setting tension on these is really straightforward and simple. With this style hinge, now they've got it going a couple of different ways here now, I see. They'll give you an Allen wrench, and that's for adjusting the tension collar through the top. They will also give you a tension rod, which is this long this long silver rod that's there. Then they're going to give you tension pins, and those are going to be for inserting into the tension collar. There's two of them there because this order for the client has two. So you insert the tension rod or the Allen wrench into the tension collar, which is pointed up when you install it, and then as it's installed, you rotate it in a clockwise fashion, revealing additional holes there. And it's into one of those newly revealed holes that you would insert a tension pin into. Okay, and that's how you set the tension. There's also a guide below this video on the instructions in terms of how many spring hinges they're looking for you to use. So 4.5, 4.5 is what we're dealing with, so we're in that column. 70-pound doors, 115-pound doors, and 150-pound doors. Two hinges, two, 2, and 3. And it's got a column for butt hinges, meaning that you can mix and match these with typical butt hinges because the axis of pivoting is compatible. Okay, so you can do that. However, I think that is far too aggressive of a amount of hinges to use per the door weight. I have found that when you are underpowered in the spring department, you have to get the door moving really quick just to build up enough inertia for the door to get through the entire cycle. And the last thing I want is a 115-pound door slamming all the time, and not properly latching, most likely as well. I don't have any other than practical experience, years of practical experience, to say that I would prefer all spring hinges, especially when you're into that heavier door, that 115-pound weight. The point of the matter is this: you don't have to set the tension on the spring, but you can definitely help share the load between 3 spring hinges versus 2. And let's face it, they're not that expensive to begin with. But what I have found is that the amount of stored energy in a spring, you can get the door moving in an underpowered situation, but when the door gets down to the critical area of actually latching, overcoming all that air pressure, overcoming the friction of the latch bolt hitting the strike plate, you've got to have enough stored energy in those springs to get it to close and latch without it having to slam. And that's where I find an additional spring hinge comes into play. In addition to that, you'll have seasonal changes where you'll have conditions that work well in the winter but terrible in the summer. You might have windows and doors open at other times there you wouldn't. So when you've got power on reserve to help compensate for that, I believe it pays off for you. I mean, I'm a fan of using hydraulic closers in every instance. It's just spring hinges are used very often, and to great effect. But nonetheless, you can always add one should you find that it wasn't enough, I suppose. I am impressed with the fit and finish of this hinge because Cal-Royal, they're an importer of all their products. They're a comprehensive importer of all of their product line, and it's not just hinges, although they have an exhaustive line of hinges: door closers, exit devices, lock sets, builder's hardware. Most impressive beyond their comprehensive offering is their customer service. Very predictable, very reliable, very dependable. And I've been a distributor of theirs for many, many years. If you have any questions on the Cal-Royal SH-140 4.5 US26 single acting spring hinge, or any other Cal-Royal product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.